It's been nearly 2 months since we last checked in on disgraced former Congressman George Anthony DeVolder Santos, which is a pretty long time by George Santos standards. I mean, during his less than a year at the levers of power, hardly a day went by without some new scandalous details about this man and his many bald-faced lies and many, many alleged crimes. But since his historic expulsion from Congress in December, things have been relatively quiet on the Santos front. I mean, he did make that surprise appearance at the State of the Union address, thanks to a hilarious loophole that allowed him to attend despite being expelled. And he used that appearance to promote a new run for Congress in the 2024 election, but that campaign, of course, very quickly fizzled out. Meanwhile, he's still got a whole hell of a lot of criminal charges against him and a trial that's currently scheduled for September. So we got that to look forward to.
Political aspirations and potential prison time aside, George Santos is a fairly simple man with fairly simple motivations. He likes having money and he likes getting attention. And one of the first things that he did when he got kicked out of Congress was create that Cameo account where he charged hundreds of dollars to create 30-second long video shout-outs. And more recently, a second Cameo has dropped.
2 accounts, baby.
Under the drag queen alter ego, Katara Ravage, with videos costing over $600 on average.
Double the price of a standard George Santos cameo. You want to see, if you want him putting on the lipstick and the wig and the dress, gonna cost you extra.
I mean, it's twice as much work than just sitting in front of the camera.
I mean, that's the cost of labor.
After the initial novelty, it's hard to imagine business would be booming here. Especially because, as you can tell, you don't really hear about him all that much.
No.
He kind of needs that oxygen to survive, and when people aren't talking about him, it fades away. So he's got to keep reinventing himself.
He's got to keep George Santos at the tip of everyone's tongue. So they're like, hey, wait a second. George Santos. I should pay that man money to record a short video for me.
But based on reviews, it seems like people are still sending in requests pretty regularly.
Okay.
Over on Twitter, he charges $7 a month for posts that, based on their previews, supposedly spill all sorts of tea about his time in Congress. But not a single drop of that tea has ever generated actual news. So there's probably not much actual tea there. Also, he was only in Congress for a year. How could he know as many secrets?
He was in Congress for a year and he got exposed like literally days before he even took office. So yeah, I don't really think a whole lot of people were spilling secrets to George Santos while he was in Congress. So yeah, needless to say, anyone giving George Santos money for anything at this point is being grifted by one of the biggest grifters around, one of the best to ever do it. And George Santos is not only happy to take their money, he actually really needs it for his legal bills. So it really wasn't that much of a surprise this week when George Santos announced that he's got an OnlyFans. He's got an OnlyFans now. He joined OnlyFans. Sure. Why not? Okay. Here's People magazine. Former Congressman George Santos has found a new source of income in the form of an OnlyFans page. On Wednesday, June 19th, the 35-year-old ex-politician who served 11 months as a U.S. representative in 2023 before being expelled from Congress announced his new account, which lists a subscription price of $29.99 per month. The moment you've all been waiting for, he wrote on a post on X, formerly known as Twitter. Only on #OnlyFans will you get the full behind-the-scenes access to everything I'm working on. See y'all there. Happy Pride Month. Again, not very surprising from George Santos, but still it's a bit odd for a guy who really wants everyone to believe that he is ultra MAGA and loves traditional family values and also hates woke. Get that woke out of here. So the response from the right-wing audience that he's cultivated was unsurprisingly negative about this news. But as the article clarifies, following some backlash, Santos shared another post on X to explain there was no adult content on his page, adding that he just wanted to stir the pot. Okay, y'all got your panties in a bunch, he wrote. The OnlyFans is not adult content. I decided to go with OnlyFans because I wanted to stir the pot. Folks need to stop being so sensitive. What, are you triggered by my OnlyFans? No, I'm not triggered. They were probably more upset that they didn't see any adult content there. All of the
traditional conservatives. I hope I don't see a penis. That would really ruin my day.
That would be terrible if I saw George Santos's penis.
No, I'm actually mad because he's just doing nothing on there.
I mean, it would be cool if he was like sharing his outfits. The man's had some great fits.
Yeah,
he had that maroon magenta suit. He had the sunglass, the epic like iconic sunglasses.
He can do that little move where you do like the turn in front of the mirror and do the kick up.
Yeah. I mean,
you got to see what the boots look like.
If this guy was ever going to go legit in any category, I would imagine it would have to be in fashion because he's got really nothing else legitimate.
Everything else is a fashion executive, yeah.
Yeah.
And the inevitable American Greed episode about how that fashion company was a front for some diabolical scheme would be fantastic.
He's going to start a fashion company and like the shit we've already heard about like sweatshops in Asia, like he's going to blow that out of the water. Yeah. He's going to bring back literal slavery.
Well, now it does follow people like him that he would actually be able to start a successful fashion company or manage one. Yeah. And he would get bored of doing everything.
This money's too easy. I don't feel like I've earned it.
And then he would turn to doing scams again. Yeah. I would guarantee
Scams are not only lucrative, they're very rewarding because you really have to work. You really have to put yourself in a dangerous spot. And that way, when it pays off, it feels so much more successful than just starting a company, employing slaves, and selling drop shipping fucking clothes.
It's like, and I don't mean to age anyone here, it's like Winona Ryder shoplifting. She didn't have to.
No, she did it for the thrill. Yeah. She did it for the love of the game.
Exactly. But back to his OnlyFans. On the actual OnlyFans page, the profile reads, "Welcome to the George Santos OnlyFans page. Here you will be able to dive deep into the exclusive, never-before-seen content of the congressional icon and much more." Why does it sound like we're diving into his butt?
I didn't. That's not the implication I got.
Dive into it.
That's you. But yeah, congressional icon. Yeah, so it's unclear what kinds of safe for work behind the scenes content George Santos could possibly be posting that would justify paying $30 per month. But we're definitely not about to enter our credit card info to find out. And it's hard to imagine that too many other people will either.
Well, look, so what is that? That's like, that's a decent amount of months that you could be subscribed to that OnlyFans instead of getting a direct cameo from his drag queen alter ego.
Yeah, 1 month of George Santos OnlyFans. It's like, it's 20 months of Kitara cameos, basically. Or one Kitara cameo is 20 months of OnlyFans. I am suspicious. I don't know. I can't work out how exactly it would work and for what purpose. But all of these revenue streams, it seems like the only reason he'd be doing this is if someone is laundering money to him and wants to essentially give George Santos money, but without there being, a paper trail.
I'm telling you, it's better than Bitcoin. There's no hash IDs or whatever. Yeah. No one's going to trace this back to your wallet.
Yeah, like there's some oil executives giving George Santos like $100,000 for his OnlyFans. Okay.
To do nothing.
Yeah.
To just sit there and go, big things happening right around the corner.
But yeah, in any case, this does indicate a new stage of financial desperation for George Santos, especially when combined with the other new grift that he launched this week that got way less attention. I just sort of saw it going past on my timeline. I was like, wait, what? And yeah, it's mostly thanks to it being so confusing that most people thought that his Twitter account had literally been hacked. Yep, it's crypto.
Oh!
Though again, we are totally unclear on what exactly this even is. Is it coins? NFTs?
Does it matter?
On Wednesday, Santos posted the following.
"I am many things. A former congressman, a world-class volleyball player, Jew-ish, Kitara, a PE guru. But most importantly, I am Q."
What?
"Join me, Q and nouns, as we storm the Soul Chain." And attached was a nearly 4-minute long video that did nothing to clear anything up.
"They call me finished when I was expelled, but they forgot us Q and nouns are both. Souls got less dignity than the ethics committee. They pushed me down, but I got up. Q and nouns, I've had enough. Your racist chain is coming down. It's time to storm with all my nouns."
Yeah, so I mean, that's some sort of pixel art animated music video, and it continues like that for several agonizing minutes.
It's so long.
Now, despite the name, it doesn't appear to be an actual QAnon thing, but who the hell knows? Santos changed his profile picture to one of those hideous pixel art characters from the video, and even posted a video of himself to prove he hadn't been hacked. It's today's paper.
Yeah. No, it's actually me. I'm pushing crypto now.
Some of you say this is beneath even me, yet here I am doing it.
No. There is no bottom for George Santos.
Within a day, though, the value of the Q token had crashed. And by Friday, Santos was seemingly backing out of whatever this was. Because by that time, people had already laundered the money through it.
Yeah.
But he wrote,
"People, be very careful with who you partner with. Not all ventures are worth perusing." Follow-up. Pursuing. Asterisk. I'd say either one's true. Don't peruse and don't pursue.
Sure.
And that was followed by, "Attention, everyone in the Q project. I'm officially burning my entire wallet. I have asked the dev to do so, and I'm walking. I came to the conclusion that the community will grow better organically, and I wish you all well. This was a project I was pitched to join and learned a lot from it. Keep doing what you guys do, and I'm rooting from afar. My wallet holds 4% of the total supply, and it has 33 million tokens. This is not financial advice, and all participation, if voluntary." Okay, yeah, still utterly confused about what any of this was. We absolutely would not put it past George Santos to do a shitcoin rug pull, though. It seems very much it's very much up his alley. Kind of surprised he hadn't done it already.
This is a very rapid one, too. It's like a couple days goes by. And what's crazy, we've mentioned it briefly before, but like there's a very strange rising tide of celebrities doing crypto stuff again. But it's very odd because it's only like D-list celebrities and below.
And the only people, it's not appealing to anyone who isn't already just deep into the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the two most prominent, I hope I don't offend any fans of theirs, the two most prominent that I've seen are...
Soulja Boy?
No.
He's gotten, Soulja Boy's, all he posts is crypto. I had to finally unfollow him because all he posts is fucking crypto shit.
When are you going to post more stuff from your store, the Soulja store?
That's why I followed him originally.
Yeah.
For his piracy.
No, it's Iggy Azalea and Caitlyn Jenner are the two, like, the big ones right now. And I'm sure they're loving the attention because it creates an artificial fan base because feeding into it and saying that you're beloved and all this stuff makes you more active in the project.
Iggy Azalea, that's a shocking fall from grace. Looking back 10 years ago compared to that now.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner, she's like 65 years old. She doesn't know what the fuck a cryptocurrency is.
Whatever keeps her off the road.
Yeah.
As long as she's not driving.
Yeah.
We are all much
safer. The
safer.
more time she spends trading crypto, the less time she spends driving on PCH.
That's right. Woo! But in similar news, it really does seem like MAGA Republicans are the last group of people left that's credulous enough to still be falling for crypto scams in 2024. Especially now that Trump himself has recently done a complete 180 on his previous stance on crypto.
I want all future Bitcoins to be minted here in America. We need to make the coins here. Go down to the coin factory.
Yeah, hopefully you're still holding on to all of my baseball cards. I look very cool and strong.
I need to check on those.
I'm sure there are like...
Every like few months I go on OpenSea and I just look at the Trump NFTs and see how they're doing.
What a weird time. There's even a rumor that Trump, or maybe his son Barron, who is very good with the computer, by the way, according to Trump himself, has started an official Donald J. Trump cryptocurrency. Oh. Just buy the worthless stock. It's the same venture.
Yeah, it's the same venture, and it is, there are actual SEC regulations involved. If you are going to lose all your money, but not nearly as brazenly as you would.
And not as quickly because he cannot sell.
Yeah.
He can't literally pull the rug for another couple of months.
Yeah.
But here's Gizmodo from earlier this week on the latest evolution in Trump's many grifts. Some crypto watchers are convinced that Trumpcoin, launched on the Solana blockchain under the ticker DJT, is actually the work of Trump himself.
Oh my God.
One prominent crypto news account on X, Pirate Wires, even said Trump's son Barron is taking the lead on the project. Per conversations, Trump is launching an official token, DJT, on Solana. Barron's spearheading, Pirate Wires tweeted on Monday. It's so bizarre.
He's so good with the computer.
I would believe so much more about Barron Trump if I had ever heard him have a conversation with anyone.
He's a blank slate, and that's what makes him powerful, is we know nothing about him.
Exactly.
You can impose an entire reality upon Barron Trump.
It is one of the most bizarre things because he's so famous.
It is my favorite subplot of like the MAGA movement is Barron Trump, the non-entity Barron Trump.
Yeah.
And just like the presence that he has in all these people's minds.
Yeah.
Anyway, it continues. Mike Solana from Pirate Wires later clarified.
His name is Mike Solana?
Probably not. Later clarified that he hadn't spoken with the Trump campaign directly about DJT, while warning whoever's behind the meme coin could rug pull or pivot. It's not entirely clear what per conversations meant in this case. Others are even more skeptical of the idea that Trump is actually behind the new token. Far-right crypto influencer Ryan Selkis suggested to his followers that it might be some kind of psyop orchestrated by the federal government. I'm not 100% sure whether the Trump meme coin is real or an op, but I'm 50-50, Selkis wrote on Monday. I offered to help the people that reached out with legal and biz intros, but told them I wouldn't take anything in return because I got the vibes that the guy who approached me is a Fed. Stay safe.
I love it, like based on conversations. He had a conversation like, well, do you think Trump might be behind it? And someone's like, oh, might be, or it could be Barron.
Yeah, I love
straight to print.
I love that the only plausible options here are that Donald Trump has started a cryptocurrency, Barron Trump has started a cryptocurrency, or the FBI has started a Trump cryptocurrency for, I don't know, reasons.
and based on his analysis, his amazing analysis, the odds are 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
It could go either way.
0% chance this is just some random people creating a shitcoin.
Yeah, attaching it to a famous presidential candidate.
No fucking chance. No, it's either Barron at the computer or the evil FBI typing away like in those pictures people use to reply to each other.
Yep.
So yeah, it seems like if Donald Trump was actually launching his own official cryptocurrency, you'd be hearing about that from him or people close to him and not dubious rumors on social media. But as they say, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people have been buying and trading DJT coins since its launch this week. And if you thought this couldn't get any more stupid, well, buckle up. Because here's the New York Post on Thursday. Disgraced pharma bro Martin Shkreli claims he and Barron Trump, the 18-year-old son of Donald Trump, are behind a mysterious Trump-branded cryptocurrency whose value has been surging this week. Shkreli, who was convicted of securities fraud in 2017 after he hiked the price of a life-saving drug, said he was initially approached by an acquaintance of Barron Trump about making the coin, which has been branded DJT Trumpcoin. Rumors of possible links with the 45th president sent DJT Trumpcoin's value skyrocketing by 385% within 24 hours on Tuesday and amassing a trading volume of $363 million.
Okay. Yeah, Martin Shkreli is, of course, involved in this somehow.
The most trustworthy man. That's how you know this coin is for real.
Surely he wouldn't scam again.
No. He learned his lesson. He went to prison for 6 years.
Do you think that this might be why George Santos immediately just torpedoed his project? Because it's like, how do you compete with the DJT coin?
Could have been, yeah.
Just bad launch time.
Took all the wind out of the sails of his shit coin. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm going to focus. I'm going to take my talents to OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to pick up more steam.
Well, it continues. About 3 months ago, I started working with 2 other guys, one of whom was a Trump family member to create Trumpcoin. He claimed in a live stream on X, formerly known as Twitter. I was surprised. It was the president's son, which seems like a good idea, he said during the X Spaces event. He wants to make money. The existence of the token Trumpcoin was first reported by Fox Business on Monday after it was registered on the Solana blockchain platform. Shkreli said repeatedly throughout the X exchange that he had evidence of Barron Trump's involvement in the project that had eventually as many as 50 people working on it. Shkreli had first told online crypto investigator Zach XBT of how he worked with Donald Trump's youngest son to launch the coin. I have over 1,000 pieces of evidence I created it with Barron, Shkreli wrote in that exchange. Nevertheless, Shkreli has not yet made public any of the proof linking Barron Trump to the coin that he purportedly has in his possession. No.
He also, apparently he was streaming on, Twitter Spaces or whatever for, 7 hours about this. People are like, oh, cool, Martin's involved. That's how you know this is legit. And Martin said that he's working with Barron Trump and he's got 1,000 pieces of evidence, so I think it's a go.
No, he boosted the price of it and then probably exited.
Yeah, so first off, obviously, Martin Shkreli, like George Santos, is a pathological liar. Whether he's even involved with this token at all, it's really anyone's guess, but the whole Barron thing is especially funny. Trump weirdos, they've built up a version of Barron in their minds that is based on literally nothing. He's a Rorschach test. He's a mirror for their deepest dreams and desires.
Yeah, a blank canvas. They can just create whatever they want, and it's like, yeah, that's the Barron that I think in my mind exists.
Even after all these many, many years, we don't even know what his voice sounds like. He has remained surprisingly private throughout his father's presidency and post-presidency. And the only thing anyone really knows about him is that he's ridiculously tall. 6'9" last we checked, but it could be higher by now.
Yeah.
He's going up like a weed. But every day on Twitter, you see people positioning him as basically like the successor to the Trump throne. Which is extra funny because that's not even how dynasties work. Don Jr. and Eric, they'd be next in line.
Yeah, but I mean...
But I guess even the diehard MAGA people, they do subconsciously acknowledge and understand that neither of those guys has the juice at all. So yeah, they just invented a fantasy version of Barron Trump to be the successor to their god emperor.
Yeah, but back to Shkreli, here's crypto website The Block with how this dumb bullshit might get Martin Shkreli in trouble yet again. The alleged fraud could be any number of things. Misrepresenting Trump or Barron, claiming he wasn't involved when actually being an advisor and or the creator, lying about who was on the team, etc. Columbia University adjunct assistant professor of business Austin Campbell told The Block in a direct message. Attorney and Cinemaine Ventures partner Adam Cochran was the first to point out that Shkreli, if his claims are true, is likely in violation of the terms of his parole.
Oh, baby.
Shkreli's 3-year parole terms required him to give full financial statements and to avoid any self-employment involving access to client money or investments, as well as avoiding other crimes. Cochran posted on social media site X on June 18th.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally convicted of securities fraud, and with a securities fraud conviction come a lot of restrictions on...
But is crypto restricted in that sense? Like,
I don't know. It might not be at this point.
He's out there trying to set precedent, and we should all be thankful for it.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be the one building those guardrails through numerous fraud cases.
Nothing in the rule book that says a dog can't play basketball and Martin Shkreli can't launch a coin based off of just bald-faced lies about working with the teenage son of the president.
There you go.
The former president. Cool. Anyways, it would actually be pretty funny if it did turn out that Martin Shkreli did team up with Barron Trump to launch a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It's funny either way. Any way this turns out, it's funny. The funniest part is cryptocurrency in 2024. What are we doing?
It's bizarre.
But in the meantime, let's move on now to some other news about Republicans behaving badly. Starting with some local news out of the Vermont state legislature. Here's the AP. A Republican state lawmaker from Vermont has apologized for repeatedly pouring water into a Democratic colleague's bag after he caught her doing it on video.
No.
State Representative Mary Morrissey publicly apologized to State Rep Jim Carroll, colleagues, and the citizens of Vermont from the House floor on Monday. Both are from Bennington, a town of about 15,000 in the southwestern corner of the state. I am truly ashamed for my actions, Morrissey said of her disrespectful conduct toward Carroll. She said she had apologized directly to Carroll and would be working towards resolution and restoration through our legislative process. In response, Carroll told the chamber that he heard the sincerity in her voice, but that he had to be frank, saying, "For 5 months, I went through this." And Morrissey had a choice each time she did it.
Hey, why is my bag a little wet? Why does this keep happening? It is kind of it's a little bit of a psychological torture.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
You're trying to figure out the source.
Why is my shit always wet?
Yeah. What if there was something expensive and electronic in there? Or like a pack of smokes. I don't know.
My cigarettes are ruined.
They're all wet and soggy.
Oh,
no.
my cigarettes.
So yeah, this is very weird behavior, especially for a 67-year-old lawmaker. But the website 7 Days Vermont, which first broke the story, posted a video showing this old lady pouring water into the guy's bag captured on a hidden camera.
She did it.
So what is this about? This was going on for 6 months. Well, I mean, here's a little bit more from The Guardian. Carroll told The Guardian that Morrissey had poured cups of water into his bag since January. Carroll says he first suspected Morrissey as she had been nasty to him for several months, despite the two knowing each other since childhood and even attending the same church. She would say demeaning things in front of other legislators, Carroll said. But Carroll had no evidence, so he decided to launch his own investigation. For weeks, Carroll secretly recorded footage of his backpack to catch the person in the act. They've known each other their entire
childhood.
lives.
This grudge goes back. Really
I wonder how many.
They live in a town of 15,000. Everyone knows each other.
This would probably cause you to immediately go back and be like, wait, remember that time when I was like 15 and my backpack was soaking wet and all my school books got ruined?
This could go back. She'd been pouring water on this guy's shit his entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like...
She's the real wet bandit.
He has like fuzzy memories of being like 5 years old and everyone being like, you peed yourself. And he's like, no, I didn't. I didn't pee myself.
Maybe I did. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I'm a child.
Yeah.
Continues. According to Carol, Morrissey initially said that she flicked water on the bag because she saw a bug on it. But she later added that she didn't know why she decided to dump water on Carol's bag for months on end. At the end of the meeting, I looked at her and said, you know, this has really fucked me up. There were weeks when I didn't know who was doing this or why, Carol said. I walked around this place paranoid of my fellow legislators, racking my brain trying to think, what could I have possibly said or done? Carol said that he was still weighing whether he should pursue charges against Morrissey for the harassment. As for whether he forgives Morrissey, Carol said, I guess I would have to say yes in the spirit of forgiveness, reluctantly. But if I had to be a smartass, I'd say her apology holds about as much water as my canvas bag.
So a lot of water?
I don't know. I mean, a canvas bag? Probably not. It just gets soggy.
It just gets soggy, yeah. You know, just like Winona Ryder in shoplifting, this lady pours water in people's bags for the love of the game.
It's fun to do hood rat things.
Yeah. She was getting away with something and it was giving her this, like, this feeling that you just can't compare.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are drawn to doing bad things just because they can.
And it feels good.
For the thrill of just not getting caught.
If like if you're the 67-year-old lawmaker from, was it Vermont you said?
Yeah.
Vermont, like, this is the most exciting thing that you do.
Oh, for years.
Is vandalize people's bags.
She's been in the Vermont legislature since the 90s, so it's got to be pretty fucking boring by now.
Imagine the fucking adrenaline rush the first time you did this and got away with it. You'd be chasing that high for the rest of your time in the legislature.
And it is kind of brilliant because, like, you know, a lot of people when they're looking for that kind of thrill, they like cheat on their spouse. And when it gets revealed, it's very messy for everyone involved. This way, you get the same thrill, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, I mean, it's just water. Like, it's pretty weird. Not really nice, but like, it was just water. So he made his bag a little bit wet. I guess don't do that.
No.
Say you're sorry. I don't know. This is fucking weird.
But in other bizarre Republican behavior, we're not sure if what Michigan GOP candidate Anthony Hudson did was worse than regularly pouring water in a colleague's bag, or if it was weirder, but it was certainly bad and weird. Have a look at this.
I have another dream. Yes, it is me, Martin Luther King. I came back from the dead to say something. As I was saying, I have another dream. That Anthony Hudson will be Michigan's 8th district's next congressman. Yes, I have a dream again. Okay, now I am going back to where I came from. Goodbye.
My name is Anthony Hudson, and I approve this message.
But, you know, when they said that AI was going to be used in elections in general...
I was thinking more nefarious things, but this is
totally different direction than I originally thought. Wow. Wow.
Nothing in the rule book says you can't get endorsements from famous dead people.
Mr. President, a second dream has just
Martin had a second dream.
Yeah, not a lot of people talk about this second dream. Well, incredible. Wow. And yeah, that video went over about as well as you would expect. Here's Fox 2 Detroit with the follow-up. After backlash, the video was deleted, and Hudson claimed he didn't make it and didn't know it was posted. Hudson wrote on X that a volunteer gave a friend his social media credentials. That's always how it goes. And that friend was the one who posted the video. He said that he changed his login information and released the volunteer. I would have never approved such a stupid and disrespectful video, he wrote. Hudson later followed up with a post saying that he believed MLK would endorse him if he were alive.
I'm sorry, but
now that I've heard it, you know, I think MLK was onto something.
Yeah.
Quote, upon further review of the MLK video in question, I decided to not only keep my campaign staffer, but also give him a raise, as I believe MLK would be disgusted at the complete suffering of Flint, Michigan residents under the current administration's watch, Hudson wrote. If MLK were alive today, I do believe he would endorse me and my vision for a better Michigan. Damn, he like tripled down.
I disavow this video. This is in very poor taste, especially this close to Juneteenth. I mean, it's fucked up. I would never do that. But actually, you know, after watching it, I think that
Pretty convincing.
I think MLK raises a lot of good points in that video. I think, you know, makes sense. He would, if MLK had survived that gunshot and he were here today, he'd probably be up here in Michigan campaigning with me, trying to get the word out that, you know, he had a dream all those years ago about, you know, ending racism and discrimination. And he had a second dream that I should be the congressman from the district in Michigan that represents Flint, Michigan. Those are his two dreams. I think I stand by that. Actually.
And to a lesser extent, also a dream about this guy. He's very young. Very young.
I don't think he was even born back then. I think he's like
you'll
50.
see. You will see.
One day there will be a man.
Your kids are going to love him.
Anyways, before we move on to the headlines half of this episode, we got to let you know, this episode is sponsored by ZocDoc. And we all know there are plenty of things in life you have to compromise on, like buying groceries at the place nearby, even though they're always out of the good stuff. Or living in the perfect apartments for your budget, even though the neighbor practices drums 8 hours a day. But when it comes to your health, there's no room for compromise. So don't keep going back to that one doctor just because they're available right now and they take your sketchy insurance. Instead, check out ZocDoc, the place where you can find and book doctors who will make you feel comfortable, listen to you, and prioritize your health. And you can search by location, availability, and insurance. So literally no compromises here, because with ZocDoc, you've got more options than you know.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. Once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately. No more waiting awkwardly on hold with a receptionist. And these docs all have verified reviews from actual real patients. We're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed, credible doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat basically any condition that you're searching for. The typical wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is between just 24 and 72 hours. That's it. You can even score same-day appointments.
After so many years of navigating this country's dysfunctional health insurance system, this is something that would have saved both of us so much time, stress, and annoyance over the years. But it's finally here. Just go to ZocDoc.com/weeklyweird and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/weeklyweird. ZocDoc.com/weeklyweird.
All right, now it's time to get into the craziest, weirdest, wildest headlines from around the world this week.
Yeah.
We talked about...
Mr. President.
They were in the chamber before, now they're...
I think it's safe to say this is probably true for just anything you can think of.
Yeah, any living being. This is going to be a true statement.
Any part of any living being.
But not only are microplastics stored in the balls now, microplastics discovered in human penises for the first time. And definitely not the last time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense that if they're in the balls, they would be in the penis.
Yeah, they call it my 3D printer.
Like... I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Like, obviously,
I can't do anything about this.
This is like the health crisis of our age, essentially. And it's just catching up with us. They're like, I don't know, maybe this is why like there's an erectile dysfunction crisis. I'm like, okay, first of all, is there an erectile dysfunction crisis, or are people just buying boner pills so they can get hard more easily?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's so weird. It's like, yeah, we got plastic. It's in everything. It's in literally everything. We don't know if it's good. It's probably not good, but we can't say for sure if it's good or bad. It's everywhere.
And we refuse to do anything about it.
Well, it's too late.
Yeah.
It'll take thousands of years to get all this plastic out of just the air, the water, everything. It's there. Yeah. It's just the world we live in has tiny little pieces of plastic everywhere, including inside of our own bodies, including inside of our penises.
And balls.
Yeah. Probably vaginas and buttholes and boobs
everywhere.
As well.
It's everywhere, folks.
Yeah. So... okay. Waffle House servers are getting a raise to $3 an hour.
Is this because is this still true everywhere that servers get paid like $2 an hour?
It's all the southern states.
Yeah.
They have what's called tipped minimum wage.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest it's just a travesty in terms of labor laws in this country that if in a lot of southern states, if you work at a job, like in a restaurant where there's tips, they legally can pay you like $2 an hour because like, well, the tips, and it's just like,
You're offsetting
So
the
you're
cost of that
essentially-
business, and you're making the entire tipping industry exist.
Yeah, well, this restaurant is skating by, essentially not... like, it's just so fucked up. Like, the burden of keeping your staff, like, from living on the street is entirely on the customer and not on the employer. It's very bizarre.
It's
and
especially bizarre for like a low-cost place to eat, an affordable place to eat. Where
this is the reason Waffle House is only in the South.
No, they're in Arizona.
Okay.
I mean, that's technically the South. It's south of,
I guess.
Yeah.
I wonder if Arizona has tipped minimum wage. You'll let us know.
Yeah.
But but they're finally getting a raise. They're going above the federal or state tipped minimum wage. They're giving them $3 an hour now instead of the previous like $2.15.
And we all know, like, you have to be a trained mixed martial artist to work there too, so that costs money.
No, it's insane. The shit these people go through.
Yeah. Also, it's got to sting a little bit too now that like tipping is so outrageous, where it's just you're a server in a southern state that makes this low monthly or low hourly wage and then relies on tips, and everyone else is getting tips and getting whatever wage it is.
I mean,
just because every screen has...
The whole fucking tipping economy it's gone too far.
Yes.
Like, obviously, within the current system, you absolutely should tip, but we got to get rid of this shit. It's gotten out of hand.
I was at Dodgers...
It's gotten way out of hand.
I went to a Dodgers game last week, and someone in front of me, like, they're buying food for the family. They got, like, first of all, obviously it's overpriced. It's
just stadium food.
Yeah, they got a couple Dodger dogs and a couple drinks, and it was like, I forget how much, but it was like $60 or $70 or something like that.
Do you want to pay?
15% was the smallest amount. And it's like, okay.
That's what pisses me off about those things. And it's either intentional or just by neglect. But it's like, when I go to the coffee shop, I'm going to give them $1.
Yes.
I'm going to give them $1 or $2, depending on how much I got. I'm sorry, I'm not doing percentages. So you got to do a custom. Beep, bop, boop. And that's me being nice. I'm the exception, I think. I think most people are just being like, no tip.
Especially now.
Yeah, it's just fucking annoying. And that's just buying coffee. Like, so many restaurants, especially in LA, you look at the receipt and you're like, what the fuck do I do with this information? There's like 5 line items for like fees that I'm like, what is this? Is this going to the restaurant? Is this going to the server? Do I have to tip on top of this? Is that what you're expecting me to do?
Yeah, even worse than that, it was the self-service section of, like, it was the Dodger Express.
Tip the fucking robot. Yeah, no, it sucks. It is so fucking refreshing.
No, there was a real person doing the ringing out, but it was like, okay.
You didn't do anything. Yeah. No, every time I go to Europe, it is so refreshing to just go to a restaurant.
Taxes are included.
Order a big old fucking meal, and they bring you the check, and you give them the exact amount of money that it costs, and that's it. No math, no nothing.
You've forgotten the niceness charge, the Bavaria service charges, a bunch of other things, and then the tip on top of
the California clean water fee, the Los Angeles mental health fee.
Yeah.
Enough! Make it stop!
Stop it! Put the price that I'm supposed to pay.
Just add the 20% to the cost of your shit and don't ask me to do any math.
Yeah.
I will pay the money. Anyways.
Oh, let's move on.
Speaking of iconic American roadside cheap food places, Mr. President, it happened again.
Yeah.
Mom who didn't know she was pregnant gives birth inside Golden Corral bathroom. Last week we got the Taco Bell toilet baby. This week we got the Golden Corral toilet baby. What is going on? Is it the plastics? Is plastics making women
it's the bad food. You're like, this could be a child or it could be gas.
I guess, but like, what is the plastics making women not realize they're pregnant? Because in both cases, these women were like, there was no signs at all that I was pregnant.
I don't know. Like,
anyway, yeah, this
it seems like you would probably know, but I'm not a woman, so I have no idea.
I guess so far the common thread, we don't have a lot of data to pull from here, but the common thread is eating food at places that canonically make you just squirt shit everywhere not long after eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, congrats to that toilet baby, though. The mom of this toilet baby.
Kept it?
Well, yeah, kept it, obviously. She already had like a 2-year-old, so this is just her next kid.
Yeah.
But she gave the kid the middle name Corral to commemorate, to honor Golden Corral. Golden Corral.
What a story they'll be able to
Golden
tell.
Corral was posting about it as big PR for them. Like, we are proud of this.
Our bathrooms are so clean you can give birth in them. Come on down.
Come have your toilet, baby.
You
at
never
Golden
have to
Corral.
leave. We got the buffet, we got the toilets. And it's a lot cheaper than going to the hospital.
I mean,
and it works.
That's the thing. Like, as shocking as it would be to
Think about the money she
to go
saved.
and take a shit and a baby pops out, like, yeah, you just saved tens of thousands of dollars, ma'am. I mean, I'm assuming she did still have to go to the hospital after that.
Yeah.
You would hope. But I would assume like they'd remove some of the fees because the baby's already born.
Yeah.
Now we're just checking if it's like normal and getting all the poop off. Just wiping off the piss and shit. That's going to be $10,000.
All right, well, I wonder what fast food establishment or
who will be next?
roadside place is going to be the next one on
Cracker
next week.
Barrel.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel. Yeah, we named him Wooly Willy after the game they sell in the gift shop. Oh, boy, gosh. Family of Taekwondo instructors saves Texas woman from sexual assault. Hey, good for them.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. Also, it's just, Matt...
This is like a plot of the Three Ninjas.
It was a woman being sexually assaulted by, I don't know, some random, but the story's doesn't have a lot of details, but literally in like the office space next to a Taekwondo studio run by a family of 5 who are all like 3rd degree black belts.
Yeah.
They heard the screams and they all came running. And yeah, it was like in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like they didn't just beat the living shit out of the man. They should have. They did the more
restraint.
They did the more sensible thing of just restraining him and calling the cops.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I bet that woman. I mean, as horrible as this whole situation is, you're in the middle of that, and then a family of people in gis come in,
yeah,
and rescue you. Like, is this even real? Have I died?
Look,
am I in a fugue state?
Yeah, it's a terrible, awful situation. But luckily, it happened right next to a family of Taekwondo masters.
Yeah, and it's got to feel good for them. Like, you finally get
to put those to the
trained
test.
in martial arts for years, and it's like, it's cool that if anything did happen, you'd be equipped to deal with it. Yeah. But like, nothing ever fucking happens.
You gotta assume though, in Texas, you're really taking a gamble on whether or not you're gonna get shot to death by intervening.
Yeah,
in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why their hands are registered as weapons.
Yeah. Pew, pew. Portland Pickles to become first sports team to legally sell THC products at games. Are you gonna reference the pickle dick? Remember
what?
that's the mascot. He posted the pickle dick picture.
Oh yeah. No, we've covered the Portland Pickles many times. I think the last time was someone stole the costume and like held it for ransom.
Mm-hmm.
He posted hog on the timeline.
They're just a like a farm team. They're not like they're not like the Savannah Bananas, right?
No, I think they're AAA. I don't know. MLB has like 5 tiers of teams, so it's hard to know. But they're somewhere down there.
The Savannah Bananas, and there's a couple others. They're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. They do
The
stilts.
No,
and
the Portland Pickles are a real
flaming
team.
bat. Yeah.
They're a real minor league team, and I guess fairly popular because Portland, Oregon does not have an MLB team for hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
I think the closest one is the Mariners, and I ain't rooting for no Washington team. But they got the pickle, and now they sell THC sodas at the games.
Hey, good for them.
Yeah, which as I've said, I recently got into weed soda, very low dose weed soda, which is what they'll be selling at the games, where it's like just a few milligrams of THC. It just takes the edge off. It's very nice.
So much better than a crowd full of people just wasted on booze.
Or just ripping like bongers.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying is like, you would imagine if there were fights happening here, they would probably drop by a significant percentage.
Yeah. That thing they did with the Britons, the British fans in Germany, they need to do that with all sports. Yeah. Especially hockey. The most aggressive fan behavior I've ever seen has been at hockey games.
Well, there's fights on the ice.
Yeah, that does get the crowd going. Yes. They got fights on the brain.
Exactly.
Woman caught smuggling 350 Nintendo Switch games in her bra.
Smart. No one's going to look there, and they're very small games.
I want to go back to like 1989 and show someone this headline. They're like, how is that possible?
Well,
or she must have the biggest chest in the world.
Yeah.
350 Nintendo games hidden in a bra.
Yeah, at least that would be kind of believable, because if you just showed them a micro SD card and said, hey, you know that game you're playing? There's 5,000 of them on this.
No, that's not possible.
Yeah, it would not
Do you
make
have
sense.
to blow on it?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I do sometimes just out of superstition.
Yeah, do you lick it? Get that taste?
No, we did do that when the Switch came out, though.
Terrible. I will not be swallowing this game.
No, they've got me. They got my number. They said there's going to be a guy out there, and probably a whole lot of kids, that try to put these in their mouths just for a little taste, and we got to stop them.
I don't know why you couldn't just go through airport security with all those games. Like, would they have even known?
Yeah, it seems a lot more suspicious to have these hidden on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just, sorry, I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
And then you throw it back. You're like, oh, you think women can't play games?
Yeah. Guess what? I'm a girl gamer.
And I play a lot more games than you. Flop,
and I ran out of space in my luggage, so I put them in the safest place I know.
Yeah.
My chest.
Yeah. They're very sensitive. I can tell if one is missing.
Yeah. Secret Service agent robbed at gunpoint during Biden's Los Angeles trip, police say.
To be fair, I believe this happened in Orange County.
Yeah, so this story...
It was on his Los Angeles trip.
This story is very... Something doesn't add up here, because Biden did not go to Orange County, right? So this happened in Tustin. And as an OC boy, I first of all, Tustin, spent a lot of time there as a kid. Not a place you get mugged.
Mm-hmm. It's just car dealerships and...
yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure people get mugged there, but it's not a place that is known for that kind of thing at all.
Yeah.
And so, Biden's in Los Angeles.
We're good.
So Biden's in Los Angeles, raising money for...
Jack Black was there doing a little thing, getting everyone excited to vote.
Why is this Secret Service agent driving from LA to Tustin, which is like a 45-minute drive, and then walking around with like a briefcase on the streets of Tustin and getting robbed at gunpoint?
I hope nobody robs me.
Did this robbery even happen, or did this Secret Service agent just like lose his fucking briefcase and then file a false police report saying he got mugged on the mean streets of Tustin?
Maybe he lives there?
No, that wouldn't make sense.
Why would you live
Maybe he has family there. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe visiting family because he was in town.
It's just very odd.
Yeah, it is a little strange.
I
don't like the framing that this happened in Los Angeles, because we already get plenty of bad press.
Yeah, he came to LA and then got robbed in Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need Orange County making LA look bad. We do it just fine on our own.
It's like Tustin is, I mean, it depends on which part of Tustin he was in, but it's like, it's not even a place you would walk. It's one of those towns where like
there's just nothing.
90% of it is like, you have to have a fucking car.
Yeah, a parking lot is a full day quest to walk across.
Yeah, no, it has a shopping center that I believe at one point was the largest outdoor shopping center in the country, where you park your car in the parking lot to go to one place and then drive to a different part of the parking lot to go to the next place.
It's the opposite of a 15-minute city.
Yeah, it's a real hellhole.
Sorry to all of our Tustin viewers.
No, it's true. They got a good brewery there, though. One of the first SoCal microbrews was Tustin Brewing Company.
Oh. All right.
So shout out to them.
Your local fact of the day.
Yeah.
Republican candidate tells Black Americans to leave U.S. in Juneteenth message.
I'm just saying it. And this is that woman. I don't know if we covered her yet, but she's this woman in it's like Minneapolis, but she is like, I think, either first generation American or was like literally born in like Mexico or Guatemala, because she has a pretty strong accent. And she first got attention for telling people stop being weak and gay and vote Republican.
I remember you talking about
and
that.
like full now just like full on just saying like Black Americans, if you're celebrating Juneteenth, you can get out.
Whoo!
So I don't know. We'll see how she does. She's a candidate, and she's certainly attracting attention.
Yeah.
And that's what really matters these days.
Probably
attention.
Not great.
She ordered some attention, and she got it.
Yeah. Donald Trump claims Joan Rivers voted for him in 2016, except she died 2 years before.
Yeah, so there's a new Trump book out. There's been thousands of them. This new one sounds kind of interesting. It's a book mainly about The Apprentice. So it's about Mark Burnett and Trump.
Yeah.
And excerpts of this keep leaking of him, because I guess the interviews were actually conducted for this book like within the past year. And the author just got Trump like on the record saying lots of insane shit. Like basically, like I don't even know how this came up, but like Taylor Swift came up and he's like, "Oh, she's very hot. I am attracted to her.
Yeah.
You're telling me she's actually a liberal? She's not just doing it for show? That's too bad. But she's real hot. I like what I see.
Well, yeah, I think if you get Trump talking about something besides politics, you just let him run.
He goes on like a tangent about Deborah Messing, apparently, where he's like, back when The Apprentice was on, she came up to me at the Golden Globes and she said, "Oh, thank you, Donald, for saving NBC. Thank you." And I think The Apprentice helped her show out a lot. And the writer's like, well, her show came on before The Apprentice, so that's not how that would work. He's like, well, you know, the lead in or the lead out. Got The Apprentice bump. And now she hates me. Very sad.
Very nasty.
Very nasty. I told her she was very attractive. It's not fair that I'm such an attractive woman who I would love to have sex with would have a problem with me.
When does
after
that
I
book
was so
come out?
nice to her. Soon, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if stuff's leaking from it, it's probably out to the press.
Yeah,
so.
this might be the first like Trump book I read. It's because like all the whole story of The Apprentice is actually, I think, much more interesting than the story of like Trump's presidency.
It's certainly when it's looked back upon in the history books, people will be like, well, what was he doing before all that weird shit? Oh, it's even weirder than that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's look into this.
GOP Michigan representative and gun rights supporter Neil Frisky accused of chasing a stripper while firing a gun.
I mean, that lines up with his beliefs.
And he, like his office, his representatives initially were like, so Representative Frisky is he is constantly exercising his Second Amendment rights.
Yeah. And his name is Frisky.
Yeah.
He's gonna get frisky.
But yeah, I guess they're possible felony charges for this guy. And they're like, it happened at like 2:30 in the morning. Like a stripper ran from his house while he chased her with a gun. And he's like, guys, it's not as bad as it looks. I can explain. There's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Simply expressing my Second Amendment rights. Woo! Whoa, Michigan. Weird place.
Yeah, Michigan is what, like, you know how like Florida, it's like the north and south are sort of flipped, although less so. Michigan is like a southern state that got like shoved up in the Great Lakes.
Yeah, well, in Ohio.
Outside of the Detroit metro, like Michigan is kind of like a southern state.
Yeah.
And also just like empty. Like you have Detroit and a few other big cities and the rest of the state is just like,
well, it's
forest,
beautiful.
And it's a great it's a great place to start a militia.
Yeah.
It's a great place to plot to overthrow the U.S. government.
And very little natural disasters. It's the place you want to be when everything goes down.
Yeah. They got that clean water from the lake.
Well,
the big lake.
I would venture to say that a lot of the state would disagree with you, especially Flint, Michigan.
Well, they're not getting their water from the lake. They're getting it from the pipes. And the pipes are nasty. They got lead in those pipes.
Oh, well, that's it for this week's episode of Weekly Weird News. Please like the video. Give us a like. And leave a comment. Get a conversation going down there about...
start the talking.
Yeah.
Down there.
About Tustin.
In the talking section, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe the Secret Service agent was actually robbed on the streets of Tustin? I don't. What do you think?
So please leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already, and please watch our most recent videos. We got just us mentally preparing for the debate next week on News Dump, among other things, and then an episode of
I'm going to up
Tuesday.
my THC milligrams for that one.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to watch because it's going to be so boring. Yeah. Realistically, it's probably going to be really boring.
Yeah, I should probably just drink alcohol instead.
Yeah. So check out both of those, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.